Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another great Worship Wednesday podcast. As you can see, it's a little different. I'm trying to do something new and or not using Zoom. So here I am using a computer, a phone, and another phone to record my vocal with a lav. And I sound a little raspy. I was up late, so... Anyways, so we're going to jump right into our 5 songs of the week. And we're starting with No Longer Slaves. Now, what's cool about this song is most people know it kind of either by heart or they just have heard it on the radio or other churches, obviously. And there's just subtle things, right? There's subtle things that pop up. And so we're going to discuss some of those right now. Like the first one for sure is going to be verse 1 versus verse 2. And you'll notice right away, obviously verse 1, really simple, 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5. But then verse 2, you've got a 1, 3 minor, 4, 5, 1, 3 minor, 4, 5. I was trying to decipher whether it was 1 over 3 versus 3 minor, but it does sound so dark that I feel like you can't misinterpret that that sounds bad, that sad tone, right? So I would personally do a 3 minor if for some reason, like if you're playing bass, doesn't matter. But if you're on any other instrument, I would just say maybe play it safe and do 1 and 5 kind of thing. But then the chorus before bridge, number 1, is, I believe there's supposed, So there's this parentheses, right, at the end of chorus. Or actually on the chorus, it literally just says 6 minor, 5, and then there's a 1 in parentheses. Now, I believe for everything but the 1 right before the bridge, you play the 1. You land on the 1, you vamp there, you kind of hang out, and then it goes places, right? It goes to the second verse, or possibly you end the song, right? It's the last chorus, you're going to end the song on the 1. But when you're going into the bridge, it goes straight back to 6 minor, 5, 1, 4. So just be careful of that, or talk to your team. Sometimes it might be easier just to play the 1, hold it, and then go to 6 minor. But who knows? Maybe your team is like most, which are, hey, we're going to play it exactly like the record. And then the other thing too is, I kind of don't remember the first bridge being, I thought it was more I thought that was an ad-lib thing, but it's actually in the song to where, they have a whole different bridge starting it and then the second bridge. But yeah, 3 minor and not 1 over 3. We already talked about that. Ooh, and the second bridge. Let's see, second bridge. Yeah, so once again, just like in the second verse, listen to it. If for some reason your team is like, no, I think it's a 1 over 3, guys, then just play whatever your team's playing. But I just wanted to make it known because I can't remember the last time I chose a 3 minor chord and it was, it couldn't be replaced with a 1 over 3. So for whatever reason that is, yeah. But last thing, tag as many times as necessary. So there's often times that sometimes I don't write tags. It's just kind of a common thing, right? You're like, oh yeah, we're playing this song, and you can tag any ending of any part, right? You can tag end of a chorus, end of a bridge. So sometimes I don't put tags necessarily. I don't chart them. But for this one, because it's so repetitive, it almost sounds like a whole different section. Sometimes too, they'll use tags in places that aren't right after the place it tags. So then for me, that's where it makes sense, right? Like there's another song later that we'll get to that does that. It'll go from a chorus to a tag instead of right after the second bridge to the tag. So just be mindful of those things. But yeah, because this song is like everybody knows it, it's not too stressful. It's not too hard. It's a slow song. So you don't have to worry about crazy jam parts or whatever. But yeah, just pay attention to those little details and you should be good to go. All right, next up is gonna be Not in a Hurry. Now this song, and I think I don't even need to look at my notes about this, but this song is cool because not only do we play it in the original key, that's always nice, but yeah, it's very indie folk. It's like, it's a vibe that you don't really commonly hear, at least in the West Coast maybe, in LA or Southern California. So I do like that. I also like the fact that it's pretty repetitive, you know? Once they introduce the vibe, the chord progressions, they don't really alter, which is kind of nice. And that'll come up later too, which is cool. But yeah, this whole 4/1/3/5, 4/1/5, super subtle, but it's important to know those changes, especially if you're a bass player. You know, you're not going to keep playing 4/1/5, 4/1/5. For guitar, you probably could. For piano, any other instrument that you would play those changes. But for the bass, for sure, you got to do that 3, just because it differentiates the first line to the second line. So, and then once again, we keep that vibe going in the first verse. The only thing that does change is the good old 6 minor at the end there. Now that's kind of cool too, because it's a kind of a nod to what you're about to go into, which is the chorus, right? And I'm hearing the song in my head, which is kind of cool, because a lot of times when I do these songs, I'll do them back to back, and I'll forget the sections because I've never played this song. So, but we're doing it in A. So I'm not in a hurry, I'm not in your spirit. So we'll count it out actually. So before I just stop playing it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry. 1, 2. Or let's play it. Sorry, I hopefully will not get copyright struck for this, but we'll see.
When you're on ahead in my own strength, when you're right here, I'm not in a hurry. When it comes to your spirit, when it comes to your presence, when it comes to your voice, I'm learning to listen.
So those are on the ups, right?
Just to rest in your near.
So it's got the up vibe. Yeah, so even that 4, that first 4 is on an up. It's like a pickup note.
When you're right here, I'm not in a hurry. When it comes to your spirit,
Right.
when it comes to your presence, when it comes to your voice,
1, up.
I'm learning to listen, just to rest in your nearness. I'm starting to notice you are speaking.
Yeah, my chords are kind of confusing me all of a sudden. Let me go back to the. I'm not in a hurry. Let me keep playing it. Not in a hurry, not in your spirit. 1. I'm not in a hurry. I did F sharp minor. Not in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry. Not in a hurry. I'm not in a spirit. Whoops. Yeah, so really try to practice those changes because it's weird for sure. Even I'm having a hard time. So and I'm doing my alterations. I'm doing like an F sharp minor 11 chord, which that's not the vibe. You know, it's very tight chords, you know, almost like just intervals. It's an interval-y kind of change. It's not supposed to be these big, giant chords. So, I'm not in a hurry, I'm not in your presence. And then if you repeat it, you go back to the F sharp minor. Because we are playing in the original key of A, but it would technically be the 6, right? Yeah, 6 minor. Yeah, A, G sharp, F sharp. Yeah, cool stuff. Sorry it took me so long to like get through that. Once again, I chart so many songs right now that I kind of forget things really quickly. But we went over the chorus. Now the cool thing is in verse 2, they do like a halftime vibe. So let's play a little bit of that. So we go back to the intro. Same chords as the intro normally, right? Yeah, here we go. Second verse. Kind of mix it up, you know? Mix it up a little bit. You're already into the song, so why not? Yeah, that's super cool. And there's a little guitar part. So yeah, very cool stuff there. And then, you know, for fun, I was like, man, it'd be so cool to do like a harder version of this, right? Like harder meaning like rockier version. So yeah, there's a chance like maybe my team in generational worship ministry would want to pick it up a little bit, make it more rockin'. Oh, I'm doing like a shouting kind of beat all of a sudden. But yeah, for the most part, I really enjoyed charting it, listening to it, even though it was hard. It was harder than all the other songs that we usually do. It was worth it. So, and then before I forget, the great part is after the bridge, they go into this instrumental, and for a second, I was like, "Oh shoot! I hope it's close to the chorus chords because it sounds similar." But sure enough, it's literally the chorus, just instrumental. So just have confidence that if I just play the changes in the chorus, you know, without the singing. So if there's parts of a section that you need lyrics for, you know, usually you'll have them, right? But for whatever reason, when it comes to this song, and they do an instrumental chorus. Really pay attention to when you come in, when you change, because the tighter you are there, the better you're gonna know it with the lyrics. So, anyways, great tune. All right, next up. All right, here's the fun one for the day. This song is called "On Time God," and the group is Women Evolve Worship. Women Evolve Worship. So I think it's a conference. Honestly, the version is live, and Chandler Moore's there, and they're in front of an arena of people. So I don't know if that's like a common thing that happens every year or what, but it looked like fun, and they obviously recorded this song. So yes. So we do it in the key of, the original's in E, and they do it in D and E flat. So I'm going to shoot for D just because why not? And the cool thing is I don't think I'll get copyright striked for this song because I couldn't find it on multi-tracks. There's like I could barely find the lyrics, let alone, you know, anything else. So, but I'm hoping we don't have to like dissect it too much over, you know, with the MP3, but we'll see. But super chill beginning, D and G, just kind of setting up the vibe. I did make a note that I really like the chorus walk-up type of thing, and I'm trying to remember it in my head right now. B minor, A sharp. Yeah, I can't remember it, but let's try to. This is just the vocals. We could actually, listen to just the vocals, and it'd be pretty cool. Even though you hear auto tune and stuff, but the piano's dope too, right? Yeah, I want to get to that walk up. Goodness. Oh, I forgot the first chorus is super short. So it's like a half chorus. So here we go. Yeah. B minor, A over C, D, E minor, G. Yeah, it's a cool, kind of vibe there. And then yeah, so once again, the first chorus is basically like a half chorus. Second chorus, they add some more things like A, B minor, D over sharp, G, and then back to the B minor, A over C, and then they do a D over F sharp, G, or that's probably not the right chord, but on time, God knew there. Instead of just on time, God, they do a F sharp. And then they go into You Always Show Up, which is it ends up being like a common phrase that comes back and forth. Let me check my notes one more time. Refrain 2 groove. Oh yeah, I got to get to that because that's a cool groove, which I don't necessarily remember off the top of my head, but yeah. You always show up. Now I got to go to the vocals, just cause. Time gone.
You love doing me.
I need you to sing it. You never choose. You never give.
Nothing's too far gone for the on-time God.
Come on, y'all. Say you always show up.
You always show up.
You never late. You always show up.
You always show up.
Yeah, it's cool. So then they keep that vibe going, right? G, F sharp, A. That's some new. My hope is knowing that my God is holding tomorrow in his hands. Now we've got multiple tags. So first tag is you're not finished with me yet with the same chords. Now refrain. So here's the cool thing. I made a comment in one of the videos previously where I was like, I don't even know what refrain means. And at that point I had no reason to look it up. But I ended up looking it up finally, and inevitably it's supposed to be from a chorus, right? I think, right? Or anything. Honestly, I think it's anything that like it's kind of a tag, or it's kind of like a reference to another section, but it's technically its own thing. That's what they use refrain for. At least that's what I kind of understood. So now I don't feel as bad when I put it in a song because I'm like, well, it's justified because this is kind of like this and da-da-da-da. So I don't know if it necessarily applies to just chords or vocals or melodies, but regardless, here it is. But let's listen to the little groove for the refrain 2 is funny because it only happens once, but if it was me, I would add it. So. Yeah, so this is the refrain 1. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so it's kind of a cool little. You can have fun with that, right? You could jam out all that pentatonic stuff. But yeah, cool little part there. Verse 3, extra line. So after we do refrain 2, we go back to refrain 1, more chill, less changes. Tag 2 now is we're introducing a couple extra chords, so G, B minor, A, D over F sharp, with some new lyrics. We go back to chorus 2, which is the longer one. We go back to the interlude. You always show up, which is almost like a tag, to be honest with you, but I couldn't use tag again. It would have been way too complicating. Even previously, I just was like, it's more of an interlude, whatever, I don't know. But then verse 3. So verse 3, instead of just 4 lines, it actually has 5. So the B minor, A, G, that repeats again, which is chill. And then yeah, so now we get in kind of the nitty gritty. I'm seeing that this thing didn't change. That's not good. Okay, so when have you ever left me? D, G, B minor, A. Let's see if we can listen to that. So, I'm assuming this is This is verse 3. Nope. This is the chorus 2, I think. Interlude, then we go to verse. The vocal in the third verse it's very intimate. In a stadium like that, like I would be belting. Like I couldn't hold back the way she did. I should just yeah, let's just play the regular song. So we go back over here. So here's the verse 3. That was the loop or the extra line. Now we're going into tag 3. I don't think this is spontaneous. I think it's literally like it's in the song, but it just feels like there's so many things changing. So we have a tag 3, a tag 4, a tag 5, a tag 6. B minor to AL. It has to be because we're doing the same thing, so. Yeah, so just pay attention. Just try to read my chart, and I need to update my chart. But yeah, it's a long song. It was the longest song of the day that I had to do. All the tags, lots of repeats at the end. We chorus like the repeating at the end could literally be a whole song probably because it's like 4 minutes. But chorus 2, interlude, refrain 1, tag 1, refrain 1, and end the song. But for the most part, I dug it. It was cool. Some cool that little refrain too, man. I wish they would have played more around with that. It was so random, but maybe it was just a kudos thing to somebody who was in the band or something. But yeah, good song. Okay, second to last, we have Our Father, which is Bethel. Do it in the original key, so I'll put the key up. I just need like a little reference. Oh yeah, okay. So it starts with that slide. I love how I didn't even need the music. I just had the drums. So nice slide in the beginning, even though you don't need to use a slide to just play those parts, play the notes. But yeah, it's a chill, you know. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Appreciate it. 1, 5, 4, 5. And we got the chorus, on earth as it is in heaven, in heaven. Oh yeah. So I also made a note to talk about the refrain. So yeah, other than just watching out for all those minor chords, the C minor, the G minor, C sharp minor, G sharp minor. You got the B over D, you got E to B over D sharp, to C sharp minor. That's a kind of a fun little move. Let's play that just because, why not? On earth as it is in heaven, in heaven. That's a walk down, yeah. In heaven, in heaven. Back to the intro. Verse, again, our Father, which is kind of cool. Same verse. That's easy to remember lyric-wise. Chorus 2 has more changes. I almost didn't put two different choruses, but because they're identical for the most part, the changes are identical. I just wanted to show that they were separate, that something new was happening. So yeah, chorus 2 is just technically same words, but you're just adding more of those walk up, walk downs, those jumps and changes. But the refrain, which once again we talked about before, what it is, it's like a tag of either a chorus section or it could be a bridge like in the other song that we did. But yeah, let heaven come. Now, this is the weird part, okay? So this is where things get complicated, okay? And it's not hard complicated, it's more just confusing complicated. But so the bridge parentheses parts, okay? So you'll notice, so right in this refrain, right, I have a parentheses F sharp. So not all the time do you play that F sharp, but occasionally they do. So just talk to your team, just see, hey, when are we going to play the F sharp in the refrain? If not, at least the first time. If not, cool, I won't do it. But now, when they get into the bridge, yours is the kingdom, yours is the power, yours is the glory forever, amen. Now, so when they start it, when they go to the last chord, the fourth chord, it's D sharp minor. Then you do the chords again, basically, but instead of D sharp minor, you go to F sharp minor, F sharp, which is the 5, right? 5, 4, 3. What key are we in? E, B. We're in B. So it's F sharp. It's 5. So then they do like a little instrumental break, okay? But they don't break for the whole duration of the bridge. So it's like a half bridge instrumental break. And then the girl comes back in and then she's singing yours is the kingdom, yours is the glory, but it's flipped essentially, right? Because if they I feel like they don't repeat the D sharp minor like 3 times in a row, because that's what you have to do if that happened, right? Or not even in a row, but you know what I mean. And so my best way of communicating that was, I'm just gonna put the regular changes, and then I'm gonna add in parentheses. You could do an F sharp here, and you could do a D sharp minor here. So it could flip flop. It could, as always, talk to your team, communicate. Hey, I just want to clarify. Are we doing this instrumental? If we do go to instrumental, are we gonna play the whole duration of the bridge, or are we gonna cut it in half and then restart it? Because they technically don't do that. That's what it is. So they do the D sharp minor, and then she comes back in like it's the top of the bridge, and she's singing, yours is the kingdom, yours is the crown, yours. And they do F sharp the first time. So then the second time, it's D sharp minor, which is flipped. But anyways, it was one of those things like, at the end of the day, as long as you're playing with your team, it's all good. Instrumental is only 1/2, yeah. So that's literally the only mishap, I guess. But if you look at the page of chords, you're like, hey, this is a pretty short song. That's kind of cool. But because it can flow and it's a slower worship song, there's a chance that it might extend a lot longer than you would normally do. So, all right. Last but not least, we have an original cover, sort of, kind of. Now, the cool thing about our original cover, and it's in the key of C technically, but I'm just going to use the number chart. Yeah, the great thing about this song, if you've heard it, obviously, let everything that has breath, praise the Lord. Okay. Now, the whole song is basically what it, 4/1, what did I write? Olive, 4/, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna do the numbers because that's just confusing. It's basically, if you ever see 4/1, this is what they're meaning. So we have C, right? Now, technically, we could go to F, but you do a little sus, right? Little sus 2. And that's what makes it, gives it that F vibe, the 4 vibe. So that's kind of what I hear when I'm listening to the song. Is it doesn't fully change. It still stays on C, but I feel like the piano, at least is it the left hand? The left hand of the piano is doing like a F chord, but then the right hand's playing the C chord. The left hand is playing C, F, C. Cool. All right. Anyways, but it's pretty much just like the normal song. Now, when it gets a little crazy, it doesn't change until the chorus 3. Okay, so we're gonna go over the newer stuff that we add. So the first page is basically the normal song. Then you get to page 2 after the bridge. You go to the chorus 1 again. Now we're going to chorus 3, and I'll just play it because it'll help me refresh my memory. All right. Chorus 1. Okay, so here we go. Chorus 1. All right, so I'm not doing all the little lines, right? I don't chart those things, but so instead of what is it, normal, as I just moved the MP3, praise the Lord, oh my soul, praise my soul. So it goes from that to this more minor, edgy praise, and it's halftime too. Pray, we push that, Lord, oh my soul. Praise the Lord, oh my soul. Now we're gonna do some hits. At least that's how I chart it. Repeat, repeat, repeat. That's where it gets fun. That first hit area, it sounds like a lot, but E minor, F, E minor, F, A minor, E minor, D minor, and then break. Then you play G really quick at the very end. Then it goes back, E minor, F, A minor, right? E minor, F, A minor, and then D minor, E minor, F, G, 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 G. So it sounds complicated and crazy, but if you just looped it and kept playing those changes, it should come to you. Go back to chorus 3. Second hits again. Basically the same. Now we just end on the A minor. So the hits 2 is the same thing, except for instead of ending on the G, you end on the A minor. I didn't want to leave it the same because I didn't want to put an A minor next to the G, and I had enough space to just do it. So, but yeah, I think this is the first like cover that we ended up doing. So I get it, I get the fact that they didn't want to mess with the song too much, but we've done other songs that they've pretty much messed with almost every chord progression. So it was kind of nice and refreshing for me, who's charting these for our team, and knowing that, hey, I didn't have to actually, pay attention too much till the very end. But yeah, it was a cool little thing, and hopefully if you're hearing this at another church, you can add it to your guys' version and have a good time. But appreciate everyone who hopped on the video, YouTube, and or Spotify, Apple podcast. If you have any questions ever, please don't hesitate to email me, scott@onlywaytoplay.com, or just comment if it's a video or if you have the option to, and I'll try to get back to you. But feel free anytime, hit me up, and we'll catch you guys next time. Later.